Welcome back once more to the DreamHack Pro Circuit live in Montreal, Canada, where we just witnessed Mouse Esports eking over a victory over 1NE Esports. It was a dominant performance, really, for the most part, coming out from their end, but we still get to see what do we get from the rest of Asia here in this tournament and what they have to really show for us.
And plus, there's other games going on at the same time, and what's a better duo than TSM on day one and having failures at DreamHack?
Yeah.
Well, TSM's already down in the lower bracket. They lost to the Randoms, basically a pickup squad from Europe. So they're down in the lower bracket already, and that is with Alpha, the MVP of the RLCS for Europe, and not looking good.
That's definitely a rough team to lose against, a team called Randoms. You know, that's got to hurt. But for TSM, it's that thing we see so much in DreamHack. At least one team right away, just out the gate, something's off, and that's how you know this tournament is going to be crazy. But that last match we just saw, you know, I'm excited to see what else that, you know, that team, 1NE, has to offer.
Yeah, and that's why that win by Mousesports is so clean, and that's what you need, because you just don't know what is going to show up. And we see with TSM, it wasn't clean that they lose in 5. Mousesports, that's what you have to see versus 1NE. Just a clean sweep where it didn't look like 1NE was going to win any games, and that's if they played 20 at this point. So Mousesports, very, very clean.
And on that topic of, you know, we always see one team maybe struggle, and then sometimes we get those kind of Echo Zulu outlier cases of maybe a dark horse coming in. I've always gauged greatness in all esports and traditional sports. Everything, for the most part, is how quickly can you do what you're expected to do? Yeah. And in moments like this, where we have those teams come out and struggle to do those types of things, like, for instance, a TSM victory over GC Aura, I look at that and I go, those are major problem points, right? But with Rocket League being so difficult to kind of understand, I'm asking you guys, am I insane that that has always been my metric? Is that something that in Rocket League I should be adjusting with this practice?
That's perfectly reasonable, because like Cloud9 is one of those teams that they always finish top 4. They only have 2 where they didn't finish top 4, and that is why for this tournament, I have them winning this whole thing, just because I know that they're going to be there. They're going to be on day 3, and we don't know about these other teams. Like even Vitality, world champs, well, they didn't make day 3. So they did make day 3, but they lost in the quarterfinals to NRG back at the other DreamHack. And then when they played at Beyond the Summit, they didn't make it out of their groups. So it's like, I need to see consistency too, and that's why I always love watching Cloud9.
And it's so scary going up against teams that you might not have heard of or people that you're unfamiliar with, so you're completely at a fresh angle. You don't have any experience. All the experience that you do have, say Vitality in a DreamHack tournament, we've seen them not have the greatest runs, and I think it's because they get nervous. They see enemy names that they're not familiar with or they're not used to playing against so much, and that gets in your head. It makes your mental game completely thrown off, and it just changes a lot of the atmosphere here.
That's such an interesting element. You know, even in some games, people are unwilling to even leave the nameplates up, because that same phenomenon you're talking about is just playing against a blank car is much easier than a...
I actually, when I was playing, I tried to figure out if you could make a blank version. Like, I wish that you could have just gotten rid of all the name tags and not played, but they are helpful when you're trying to figure out what color they are. But honestly, if you cannot see who's playing against you, it could make it so much better and so much more calming for you.
And that's why on day 1, you can't try and overthink the matchups, right? You just have to play your own game, and you have to expect, if you're a team like TSM, that your own game, that should make it to day 2 easily. So maybe they tried to play to the other team and it didn't work out. Who knows?
Yeah, whereas we saw with Mouse Esports playing to the team and making it look very, very good. Almost crippling at specific moments.
The confidence from Speed is, I think, what sold everything on that. He didn't come in. I talked to him about being nervous. He's like, no, I knew they're more nervous than me, so I don't care. He was just so calm.
Yeah, it was actually really cool to see how confident he could just go, they have the most pressure and that's a problem, right? Like almost just playing a mental warfare and understanding the difficulties there. But our next series at hand is still going to be, considering some of the regions that we don't get a glance at all the time here, is going to be Chiefs out of Oceania and going up against what is a hybrid question mark team, a North American team, that of NRG.
And we talk about the mentality going in. Well, NRG and Chiefs, that's an old rivalry, but not the same exact squad of Chiefs, where NRG has had problems against that team. But this is a brand new Chiefs roster, and they're bringing in a player, 13 years old, Hawk.
Yeah, I mean, the new guy, the youngin', that is going to be so much pressure. 13, the prodigy. That is crazy on him. But NRG, you thought they broke the curse, right? you think they would have broken the curse just getting a Summit win.
See,
I want to hear it, boys, because I'm wondering. I need to know.
I don't think that's true yet.
Oh, okay.
I think the curse is broken. They played in a basement, and they won a rubber duck.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as a grand final.
That's what's beautiful about it.
I don't know
That's
if
why
that
it's
counts.
beautiful.
The
rubber duck is what makes it that much better. In their minds, they broke the curse.
I know.
I would rather have a rubber duck than a trophy.
Hey, like they're feeling good.
Yes, I would.
They're feeling good. Garrett said that it feels like it's broken, so maybe that's all they need. But I need to see it in front of a crowd.
Okay.
I need to see it like at a venue. I don't want them hoisting a rubber duck and saying, "Oh, we broke the curse." No.
What do you have against ducks?
Sorry to be on the
I don't
summit.
understand.
Sorry, but I need to see it here.
Let me just say that I completely agree, and I think the biggest thing that he's arguing, it's not the duck, because that is the trophy. It's not about the trophy. It's more about the concept of was the integrity of everybody's mentality at that tournament great enough to argue that you were able to break that? And I also question if that's
But we just saw Speed come up here talking about Summit sad. If he didn't say that, then he wouldn't have cared at all about the Summit. But he said, we don't talk about Summit because we played poorly. So obviously they care about how they play there.
But Garrett G even said it, like in the grand finals, he was thinking about playing Mafia after. So I don't know if it's the same mentality.
You're probably still thinking about Mafia after, because I mean, you had
I'm traumatized, man.
Moments.
Can we move on? I don't want to talk about Mafia.
It was your
I don't want to talk about Mafia anymore.
100% was your fault. Oh my goodness. But down at the stage, our team's preparing again. It is the Chiefs in Oceania, and the biggest storyline here for them is Huck. Huck is wild in the fact that he is unable to compete in the traditional season, right? Like, you guys have already highlighted his youth, but I am super interested to see this perform.
Yeah, and that was a bold move by the Chiefs to play with him like in their qualifiers. Like, they got the invite here because they played with Huck, and they beat out every other team from OCE.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. And CJ, the captain, I would say, of the roster.
The medic.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you're traumatizing me, man. Look at him smiling right there. I can feel a little connection right now with CJ just because of that moment. But he's going to be leading the team here, as well as Express coming through. They're going to put it against NRG, and a team who we are curious if it is a honeymoon stage. That's something I wanted to touch upon, was the honeymoon stage, and if that's actually going to be a factor, because Turbo Pulso said in an interview that he didn't want it to be a honeymoon stage, and that it was just going to be how they played for the rest of time.
So let's not forget that the Chiefs, they went out on day one at the last DreamHack, and for OC, it's been depressing where they haven't won any prize money at any of the DreamHacks, so they really need to have a good performance here, but playing against NRG is going to be a tough task. Obviously, they just won the last major. We see Justin here. It seems like that they got over it, like he got his one major win, and maybe that's all they need to get through that mental break.
Yeah.
One struggle to that mental break, though, that some people have theorycraft, and one that I will argue I even lightly support, is that it feels like when the team doesn't have anything to play towards or a lot of weight on their shoulders, that is when they're going to perform at their best. And Beyond the Summit may have been able to be under that ecosystem, right? Justin was very comfortable in a lot of these environments, but DreamHack may change that. Again, the crowd factor, all these other elements.
But let's not forget, Turbo Pulso, he's a three-time world champion, so if anyone knows how to win,
That's what I'm saying.
Pulso.
Literally at the Summit event, Turbo Pulso, in almost every single overtime the dude played in, he completely won and was on point every single time. So clutch. You cannot, if you think about clutch Rocket League players, Turbo Pulso is at the top of the list, maybe next to K-Dot.
And we talk about nothing to play for. He was at last DreamHack with Classics and Corrupted G, where they didn't really scrim, they didn't really practice, they still made top 8. And NRG, they played with Fireburner, they didn't practice at all, they made the grand final, so maybe that will help them.
Yeah, that's the one thing that makes me super, I'll be honest, just mad impressed by Turbo. You know, as a guy studying up for the scene, getting into DreamHacks this year, clearly a lot of impressive things about the man, but I keep going, but what about K-Dot? Nobody's talking about K-Dot. K-Dot seems like he's winning on every front, just by a little bit amount, and then he wins the tournament, and everybody's still like, have you seen Turbo Pulso, right? And I'm like, but what about K-Dot? But then you see how he literally, doesn't matter the roster, the players, or the environment, when he decides, I'm ready to win this game, he just wins it, and that's when you go, wow, Turbo, like, you're going to make a dent here, my goodness, if you haven't already.
Like, I was super worried throughout the season with Dignitas in Season 7. It didn't look like Turbo was playing like Turbo, but I liked what I saw when we saw him at DreamHack, playing with a pickup team, and he looked like the best player 100%. On the field versus everyone.
I think he needed that refresh. I mean, we're talking about the guy who denied NRG from winning the World Championship. Then he gets on that team. Can you imagine the kind of damage that they can do together?
Well, we're about to find out. What does it look like when NRG kind of come together, maybe with this pressured stage up against the Chiefs? What are your predictions, guys? Who do you think walks away with this?
So this is not day 3, so I am going to pick NRG here. Like, I think they will win the Chiefs. It's a tough task for them. But for OC, it's a very important series. They need to start getting results going into the season, but I still have NRG.
Yeah, I got to agree, Gibbs. I think NRG are too strong right now. I don't think it's a honeymoon stage. I think Turbo is too solid, especially with Garrett G and Justin backing them up. They seem like an unstoppable squad right now, especially when they're on point. NRG.
And I mean, it's hard to go against them, is how I'm going to put this one. And though I do want to give a little bit of credit to clearly the success that we have had from Oceano over time, it's still one of those, but looking at DreamHacks, they have struggled. And this is kind of a beautiful beast that is brewing on the side of NRG. And so I'm going to sit on their side.
Yeah, both these teams, they should make day 2. We might even see both in day 3. So it should be a really good matchup to just see where these teams are at.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see them get into an overtime and see if the Turbo Pulsa theory can keep standing tall, because he just constantly brings it in every single clutch moment.
So the crazy thing is, too, they're practicing with Turbo Pulsa all the time, where he's in Europe still. He's not even over in North America
and the
yet.
ping difference.
So I feel like that actually helps Turbo Pulsa, because he's playing probably scrims on 100 ping.
Yep.
And now he's like, oh, man, I get to play with 4 ping. This is fantastic.
And I would like to raise for 2 guys who've actually played on the pitch of this tier. Is there an argument that playing without the ping may be a detriment because the practice had led to a positioning difference for his teammates to be a pixel forward, whereas now that's going to be too far in maybe those moments?
So I don't think so, because I feel like it hurts you on defense a lot when you have 100 ping, because you're not sure exactly where the shot is actually going to hit the car. But on the offensive side, I feel like it doesn't really affect you as much.
Yeah, as long as Turbo isn't practicing being more scared and timid because of the ping, then I think he's solid. You know, if he goes up for a ball, normally when he should, and he's not hesitating, even if he misses, as long as he makes that decision, when he comes back to normal ping, I think that's what's going to make it better.
Well, let's go ahead and get our second series underway here. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to our commentary crew. It's James Bott and Achieves.
Thank you, Dreadnought. And, you know, I just had to listen to Gibbs again talk about rubber ducks and trophies and everything. Like, does he not realize if Turbo came over and they got second place again?
Yeah.
That is a disaster. That is a horrible disaster. So there was, you know, regardless of the competition, you know, feeling, it was a $50,000 tournament.
Exactly.
And NRG was about to come in second place again
still wanted
if
to
they
win.
lost that. So there was a lot of pressure. And I think it's a great sign for NRG that they were able to get that win at Beyond the Summit. And, you know, like Garrett said, he feels like the pressure's off now. And so, I mean, but now they have to go up against this Chiefs team who's got the wild card, Hawk, 13 years old, you know, up on this international stage. Talk about a fun experience as a newly dawned teenager.
That's the double-edged sword, though. You know, it's like you can pull even the speed argument. You know, it's like, talk about if there's people who have a ton of pressure here at DreamHack Montreal. One NE, no doubt, unquestionably. Or you're looking at it from Hawk's point of view. It's like, oh, sure, let's do it, right? So it really will be curious to see how he handles the pressure.
I like how the camera person got the cue from that.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But, you know, you got to sit down, you got to go out there and play some Quality Rocket League, and you got to go do it against Garrett G, Justin, and Turbo Pulses. So let's see it.
And, you know, this is not a first-round matchup. NRG beat Nameless to get here, and the Chiefs 3-0'd Paradox, which was Jay Wismont, Karma, and Mystic.
Yeah.
So that is a team with names that we recognize. Chiefs 3-0'd them, so we'll see how they play. Game 1 underway. Chiefs versus NRG. Turbo, center to Garrett, cut off by Hawk. Garrett with the bump on CJ on his way out. Center ball just out of reach of Justin. And now CJ testing Garrett's backboard defense. The clear comes out. Hawk. Challenged by Justin. Express waiting for the shot. CJ hitting it downfield. CJ breaking up the play. Back over to Hawk. Hawk pops it up. Justin first to it. Sends it to the side. Express. He's there. Out of boost though. It bounces down at Express at any boost. He would have been able to make it. CJ cleans up anyway. Chiefs get out to an early lead.
Nothing need be said about this. Just a missed touch in the box from NRG, and Justin trying to recover off the top of the net. All CJ had to do was pick the right spot, and that will put the Chiefs on the board first.
And a great start from the Chiefs. Express, he was just a little bit of boost away from getting that double tap after the miss on the backboard. Justin with potentially the longest name that we'll see in this tournament.
I would agree with that, yeah.
I hope he reconsiders his decisions. And already Chiefs breaking up these plays from NRG. You can see NRG going for the passes. Great speed from Chiefs.
Oh, beautiful challenge there from Justin, really forcing Express into an early challenge. And command to Garrett G and into the net. A beautiful equalizer, just dribbled all the way upfield by Justin.
And Justin's pass here, he gets a slight touch here to throw off the defender, but not hard enough to where it would mess up Garrett's line. So great finesse by Justin on the pass. Garrett G, an easy cleanup.
That really was one of those high-pressure situations you find yourself in on defense every now and again. The one-on-one is the decision-making process of when you go for that challenge, because you got to figure, you know, you don't want to give any more space than you have to a player like Justin, because space with him means, you know, the gloves come off and he's going to make you dance and then score all over you. So he tried to go early, and he still couldn't get the job done. So.
I mean, you're as a defender, you're expecting that they'll get a bigger hit on that. Justin was able to just get the slightest touch to make sure Garrett had an easy shot, but also to get it out of the hands of that Chiefs defender. Very well played. Good speed from Turbo. We'll get it back to the Chiefs half. Hawk taking his time, gets a double tap by the attackers on NRG. Well handled by him. Express off the ceiling. Trying to get that backward pass. Justin cut it off. Hawk can't pop it by Garrett. Justin sends it down. Express to the wall. He'll stay with it. Him and CJ both, you know, getting a little aggressive with each other.
I've just been sitting here watching Hawk, and he's really playing a pretty solid game in terms of positioning and approach, but Garrett G almost able to find a block into the net, and Hawk actually really is.
Love the composure.
Yeah, he's looking pretty solid right now.
I mean, you know, coming in, you wouldn't expect him to be trying to dribble out of his half against NRG, but he's doing it. Express, beat to the ball by Justin. Hawk pops it up. CJ challenges Turbo to it. Turbo gets the win, going for a shot. Shot blocked by Hawk. Hawk very low on boost. Bounces it down, going for a challenge. Does bump Justin out of the play. CJ will take over, shot towards net. Knocked away by Garrett, back off the backboard. CJ not enough boost, he'll be floating out of the play for a while. Hawk in a tough situation, gets the pop. Where's CJ comes out? I thought Express would be the one to help him.
And that really was an incredibly awkward scenario for Hawk to find himself in. He kind of gave up a challenge opportunity against Turbo, recovered enough to buy just enough time, and that's really the most important part of that third man role is you don't really have to make the perfect play a lot of the times. You just have to make enough of a play, and he did just that, and CJ bailed him out.
The Chiefs and NRG toe to toe right now. Garrett will just leave that Express up to Hawk. Hawk going for the corner. Garrett back downfield. Center ball. CJ gets the flip reset pass off the corner. Garrett clears downfield. Justin with the challenge. Not there in time. Garrett low on boost. Pops it by Hawk. CJ kills the ball to himself. Goes for the backboard. Shut down by Turbo. Pass down to Justin. Justin clearing it upfield.
Another tough spot for Hawk. He just got boost, and thankfully enough, that ball took a very favorable bounce for him.
And again, he slows down the play, and he helps get the clear. Hawk, his composure, still something to be admirable of. CJ centers it down. No one from Chiefs there. Clear to the corner. A traded demo. Garrett and CJ both taking each other out. Now a hit downfield. Garrett going for the pass off the wall. But Express hits it downfield, and Turbo lets it bounce, and we've got overtime in game one.
And Turbo gets his wish. He said, all right, let's see Turbo pulse in the clutch scenario. I think Hawk actually is going to be the guy you're going to have to beat on defense, because he's come up flying colors every time he's been asked to make a big play and make a stop on NRG's offense.
And Hawk again preventing that pass from Turbo over to Garrett. CJ off the back wall. Turbo, the clear up to Garrett. Garrett heading off to the side, a miss there. CJ opts for boost instead. It turns out to be the right play. Now going for the air dribble clear. Demo on one. Running out of boost. Garrett Gonna chase this down for a second touch, going for the double tap pass, but Express, great control on the back wall.
Oh, he just gave up the ball, though. He needed help out there in the midfield. Unfortunately, CJ was stuck back on his own half with no boost. Hawk goes over the ball, and CJ almost caught out of position again, but just enough time bought.
And that was a scary moment. Justin with some space. Now on the other end, Express, the shot towards net. Garrett hitting it up and off his own backboard.
A wonderful counterattack.
A tense overtime. The demo. Hawk with the stop. Down to CJ. CJ off the crossbar. That could have been it.
You hate to see it. CJ gonna be kicking himself for that one, no doubt, but he gets another chance for Hawk, and Turbo Pulsa to deny. NRG, no, they got away with one. And can they make him pay? Beautiful demo from Hawk to buy a few precious moments, and Garrett G actually pulls Turbo Pulsa out of position with that touch into the side and gives a second chance to the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs doing such a good job at contesting every single ball. We're almost 2 minutes into overtime. Chiefs, I would argue, have had the upper hand so far. NRG going for the backward play, shut down by Express. Ball to Hawk. Hawk keeps it down the sideline. Turbo pops it up over him. He's gonna follow it up. Bouncing ball, Garrett pass, going for the pass. And Express off the backboard denies it. Justin with the pop up. Turbo there, going for the double tap. But he doesn't make the read. Rebound out to Justin. Justin off the backboard. And Express there to challenge.
Turbo's in a bad spot. He just got bumped by Express, and just enough to get up to it. NRG having to deal with a lot of counterattacks from the Chiefs. They put
and that shot gonna test Express.
And they put up a lot of shots over on the NRG half, but not many of them have really felt dangerous. So despite Chiefs having to make a ton of saves, they've always been in position and ready to deal with a lot of the offense from NRG when it's the other way around.
And they're keeping this attack going. An extended assault there for the Chiefs. Now chance for NRG. Double tap chance for Garrett. Ball out into the middle. No one was there from NRG.
CJ not able to find a read off that ball off the wall. Very fortunate that no one waiting for it on the NRG half. And now Hawk, again, he's making him think about what he's going to do, but Turbo steals it away. Touch towards the top right and popped out. CJ, nice save.
Justin off the ceiling, and Express again shutting that down. Express getting another touch as he's falling with no boost.
Hawk's been great at buying time. Express has been great off the walls, finding solid clears. CJ, that's the guy who's really going to find himself in what role is he going to fill here in this overtime, because NRG is now really building the pressure here.
And CJ, his shot was off the crossbar earlier. That could have been the game. Now Garrett trying to feed his teammates in the middle. The Chiefs defense not giving anything up. 4 minutes of overtime have now elapsed. Turbo flicks it by CJ, but Express is there. CJ with the pop up. Express couldn't get to it in time. Garrett hits it back. Now Hawk in the corner. It's gonna have no boost. Still looking for the pass. Turbo gets a piece of it now. Counterattack, Justin, air dribble. Deke opts for the flick instead. And a good save from Hawk yet again.
That's what I was just talking about earlier. Turbo Pulsa finally gets in the face of Hawk, who can't bring the ball all the way down, and overtime will come to a conclusion, and indeed, Turbo Pulsa delivers the finisher.
And just as Hawk was just a little too slow there, you wonder if he had any boost left in the tank. That snipe from Turbo to the corner. Almost 5 minutes of overtime, but what an entertaining matchup that was.
A wonderful game one, undoubtedly. I enjoyed a lot of things I saw out of both teams. It really, of course, could have been the other way around if CJ got his paws on that ball and into the net. An unfortunate loss for the Chiefs. It could have been a beautiful start, but NRG overall really commanding a lot of the pressure on that game. But the Chiefs defense definitely handled it very well for the most part.
Absolutely, and you know, even on offense, Chiefs were looking good. We see this goal, the first goal of the game, very early on. CJ taking advantage of the demo and also the missed backboard hit.
Yep.
And then we see this this immediate response, the equalizer. Justin getting that wonderful little touch over to Garrett G. And then there was no scoring for quite some time.
Like 8.5 minutes or something. It was a long time before we found the back of the net right here. Turbopulsa just saw that slow touch from Hawk and maybe just a slight lapse in spatial awareness. Didn't really rush the ball down and
you can
slide
see,
grid.
you know, the stare from Turbo.
Looking at
staring
Hawk,
over
looking
it.
at
It's a
Justin.
staring competition. Oh, he blinked though.
That is true.
But it looks like it just...
This is a battle of don't laugh. This is a battle of don't laugh, not a staring contest. I wonder who would win that. I actually feel like Turbo's really got the mug to win that.
Yeah, probably. I would give Turbo the edge. But in game one, it was so close. The Chiefs looked very solid.
Great
all aspects of their game, especially after watching the first series with 1NE, who seemed like they were just stuck, you know, losing possession, trying to get, you know, a few opportunities and coming up empty. That was not the case for the Chiefs. The Chiefs coming in, matching every blow with NRG and almost winning the game outright.
Definitely not as much offense, but they did play defense well enough to give themselves plenty of counterattack chances. Pass up to CJ to start off game 2 and pop for Express into the middle, and Hawk has to wait his turn. Too risky because CJ was stuck in the net.
A pass from Turbo. Hawk misreading it, and CJ was on the back line. Ready for the save, another shot.
Oh.
And unfortunate. It looked like, was it Express in net?
It was Express in net, and I think Hawk just didn't realize that Express definitely had this one.
Yeah, that was an easy save for Express. Hawk getting a little bit jumpy there, trying to make the save, ended up own goaling it. Unfortunate for Hawk and the Chiefs. We'll see how they respond to adversity.
And that really, I feel, has been perhaps the first mistake you've really seen out of Hawk on defense. I mean, and even then, you can kind of understand how it was made. Like, that's a strong shot. Your teammate's at the back of the net.
Not really enough time to call it.
You feel like you've got a chance to go tip it into the corner, and you're not going to feel too bad about it. And unfortunately, just rushed it down.
Now on the attack. Garrett getting that full boost, but immediately sent back. Justin using up a lot of boost for that. It's going to send it to the corner. Hawk is there.
Oh.
The center, CJ.
He saw it coming all the way. Dove across, definitely expecting that pass, and just didn't connect. Again, a wonderful opportunity for the Chiefs, but...
And then the dunk from Justin goes for the center. Hawk gets a clear this time. But that one, a close call. CJ in the right position. He has been in the center looking for those balls quite a bit in this series. Still looking for that passing play to connect.
Great job.
Another one to CJ, and CJ shoots it right at Garrett.
That play set up by Hawk took a big piece out of Turbopulsa going for that touch, but a missed hit from CJ. CJ off the backboard. Garrett G not able to capitalize, and once again, here come the Chiefs trying to set up shop in the NRG half.
We see a car switch for Justin.
Into the Finnick, off the Dominus, and Hawk into the middle, saved by Garrett.
Also Turbo using the new Rocket Pass car, I believe.
Mudcat.
So we're seeing some unique cars, and that was especially started to really take a strong hold when Chaussette won.
He destroyed
DreamHack
everybody.
Valencia in the Fennec. Seen a lot more variety since then.
Brings back good old times. Marky Duda on the backfire. Jacob in the breakout. You know.
Yeah, some good times. But now on the other end, Hawk was scrambling back. He might not have been able to get there in time. Now a long shot. Turbo, low boost. Gets the save.
Ooh, slips by Express too. Dangerous.
Garrett, the pop. Trying to set himself up. CJ, well positioned. Now Justin. Stopped by CJ. Hawk. Shot. It was weak, saved by Turbo. Now Turbo off the ceiling. Hits it down to Justin, stays with it. Off the backboard to Justin, the bounce shot, and Hawk gets the save. Now follow up from Garrett.
Oh,
and
another
that
own
one
goal.
Sneaks in.
2 own goals in game 2, but that all set up by that great touch, actually. Justin going off the wall there, you're thinking, man, why is Justin standing with this? And it's really just to pop it off a hole in the defense. Because it's away from the Chiefs. It puts them in an awkward spot because it's going to bounce off that wall, go right into the middle of the box, and it actually causes all of them to dive at it, so it ends up working out despite you're initially thinking, not sure why you're staying with this. You don't have much going for you. But they score, and Hawk gets one right back. A banger into the top left.
And this one, a lovely passing play. CJ over to Hawk, and Hawk finding the upper 90, 80 miles an hour. That was a zinger.
Zinger is right. And it feels good to get it right back after you guys know you just made a poor play on defense in the teamwork aspect. And to get a beautiful goal like that, it says, all right, reset, let's go.
Express beating Turbo to the ball. Garrett will miss as well, but Justin comes in with the cleanup. CJ off the ceiling to Express. Hawk getting full boost, looping around. Going for a dribble play, centers it. Gets the stop as well, popped up for CJ. CJ didn't get a strong hit. Justin denied the backboard, waiting on the boost pad now. Ooh, Turbo on the other end, shut down by Hawk. CJ blocked by Justin. Express hard off the middle. Hawk challenged by Turbo. Now CJ up.
Great defense.
Stopped by Justin.
Wasn't going to have any of it. I mean, you can see you don't want to allow the touch come towards the back wall. You don't want to let him get the flip reset. Just an aggressive approach on defense from NRG, and they don't want to allow any space for the Chiefs if they can help it.
We saw that pinch clear from the Chiefs moments ago. Center ball.
Miscommunication. Garrett G expecting Justin to be in a different spot behind him, and it's allowed the Chiefs a little bit of space here, but a great challenge from Garrett G. Sets up one to come straight down, and that will wrap up game 2. A nice insurance goal to close it out.
And Hawk needed to flip into that. Garrett G winning that challenge heavily. That one just bounces straight down. That's a nightmare bounce. If you're the Chiefs, you hate seeing that. You know it's a goal pretty much 99.9% of the time. And so the Chiefs, they still looked good, but they had those 2 own goals.
Yeah, that really is what killed it. The first one definitely forgivable. The second one, I mean, it was just a slightly off rotation into the net.
He was expecting it to maybe bounce off the wall.
Exactly. And it just goes
off the post.
Yeah, and it ends up on the wrong side of your car. What can you do? I mean, it's 2 really unfortunate mishaps on defense for the Chiefs, and you really can't sweat it too much. Because this time, NRG is having to make, 10 saves on defense. There was a ton of offense from the Chiefs this game.
Yeah, and the one play we did see from the Chiefs was a very quality passing play. Yeah, CJ over to Hawk. And then we even saw chances for CJ. CJ getting denied a couple times, needed to find a little bit more accuracy, but the Chiefs hanging in there. They are not being outclassed by NRG. They had 2 of those own goals, but they're hanging in there. We'll see if they can bounce back in game 3, however, because NRG 1 game away from taking the sweep.
And there were a couple opportunities, I feel like, for the Chiefs that I was talking a little bit about it, like, why does Justin stay with this ball? But that first own goal that you talked about, Express definitely was going to tip that into the corner and just rush down by Hawk a little bit too quickly. So what can you do? You let that one go, but the big difference from the offense between the Chiefs and NRG is always so focused on possession. You know, they'll find any hole the defense gives you and they'll put it over there and know that a teammate's going to be there. Felt like the Chiefs had an opportunity. I think it was CJ. He had this option. All right, do I ping it off the backboard or do I try and take this shot that's going to have low power and just fit it under the crossbar? And he goes for the shot with low power to try and fit it under the crossbar when it's like, all right, just make the easier play. Slap it off the wall and let your teammate deal with it. And that's what NRG would have done. And I feel like that's the big difference in the offense.
As knowing which is the best option in the situation. Crucial skill. And that shot going to go wide. Follow up from Garrett. Garrett off the wall again. Hawk bailing out Chiefs. Hawk has had great speed.
Wonderful. And even if he has an
oh my, Garrett G. This one a tough read. You can see him immediately adjusting when he recognizes it's going to bounce down.
What are you going to do? I mean, obviously you hope to find the clear next time if you're Express, but that's just a wonderful shot from Garrett. And Justin,
you could even see the moment where Garrett G flies up in the air, he stops boosting, and he's like, oh, that's going to bounce down.
I can get
it, yeah. That adjustment from Garrett, perfectly read.
Talk about an opener, no doubt.
See if the Chiefs can answer back. Express slowing the play down. Doesn't have the boost to challenge it, but he jumped off anyway. Just Hawk is left. Stays in possession. Gets a strong challenge. You can see Justin was trying to sneak that one by after the challenge from Garrett. Turbo double tap. Ooh. Can't hit it. Garrett off the backboard. Shot from Justin saved. And now Hawk upfield.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, though. Garrett G has two options there. Smash it off the wall and let his teammate take a stronger shot, or try and beat the man himself. And he just says, all right, I've got a teammate. Let's give Justin a quality goal-scoring opportunity. And while it didn't work out there, that's what NRG is always so good at. Chiefs had a hole, they took advantage of it and gave themselves a scoring chance.
And not only that, but you just know that Garrett and Justin, you know, even Turbo, but especially Garrett and Justin have that ability to score goals out of nowhere all by themselves.
Absolutely.
So they make you think they might do it, and then when they go for the pass, it's that much more effective. Hawk got his flip reset, but couldn't get to the ball in time. Turbo downfield. Shot from Justin, save from Express. Justin pops it up for Turbo to get an easier hit, and will retreat for boost. Gonna turn for this now. Well positioned for the challenge.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
See that?
And it kind of
they got scored on.
bit.
I was quite impressed with a moment for the interesting approach from Justin to try and get in front of this ball, and he ends up.
Well, you saw Garrett was on the wall thinking he was the one who would be in position to challenge it, but Justin just stayed with the play. And that man Garrett both got out of position. Turbo was cheating up because he thinks Garrett's going to get the 50.
That is textbook trying to do way too much if you're Justin right there. Just leave. Garrett's got it under control, and a pinch shot smashed off the boards.
And we've seen Chiefs go for a few pinches. And, you know, most notably, they had a defensive pinch that went very hard all the way to the corner. That time they tried to make it work on offense. Justin across the field. Express pops up just in time. Get the touch. Garrett, stay with it. Express over to CJ. CJ to the middle. And then the immediate shot. That's going to be a counterattack goal. We'll take another look at this, but CJ likely going for the pass to Hawk.
Yeah, it definitely was. And you really can't do anything about this if you're CJ, because he went for that pass across and he just didn't cut it hard enough, put it too close to the defense. And unfortunately, the timing of how it worked out.
It was the right idea. It was the right idea.
He hadn't landed yet. He had no time to recover. So it's just misplacement, and a situation of perfect timing for NRG results in a goal.
Yeah, he put that too far out of reach. You know, and he made Hawk be in a position where Hawk had to go for it.
Yeah.
And he signed their death warrant there. We'll see if they can get back into it, though. Chiefs now on the NRG half. Ball high in the corner. Turbo by 1, by 2. Express the last line of defense. And a good play from him. Gets it over to Hawk.
Oh, they won another one.
Now CJ. Off the backboard, Turbo with the read. Justin up in the air. Express downfield. Hawk sends it off the backboard. The demo from Express, shot from Hawk, and that one's blocked.
Hawk definitely going for the back post, the right idea, but still just able to make enough of a play, and they catch him again. Chiefs really trying to work the NRG defense side to side. Can't make the play. CJ doesn't get it upfield. Express just doesn't make the right read, not realizing Turbo's got him beat, and an open net.
CJ, that challenge, the ball kicks out into the middle, and Express caught in a little bit of no man's land after the challenge. Decided to go for it, and Turbo was just a little bit faster. Turbo with the demo on Express. Double tap chance, and Justin taking that opportunity and making the most of it. Justin with the 4th goal for NRG.
Yeah, CJ hoping that ball is going to stick to the wall a little better. He can get a second touch, but Justin, even if that was the case, was waiting on it. And it just happened so nicely that it popped off right for him, and a beautiful second touch to get it to the back post. All 4 unassisted in game 3 for NRG.
This one off the ceiling. Garrett is able to get back just in the nick of time. Express puts the ball down for Hawk. Hawk pops it by 1, but Justin's there. Justin in the air, gets it by Express, who runs out of boost. CJ getting a piece of this, but Garrett will take over. CJ with the challenge. Hawk, the follow-up challenge. He'll stay with it on the wall. Clears it downfield and also going for the hit. We saw him cut off Express there. Perhaps Hawk feeling like he's got to do everything right now. We even saw that same mentality come into play on the own goal, trying to be too many places at once.
It sometimes gets to you, and it can be a little rough coming in as the new kid on the team. And honestly, I felt Hawk overall played a great series, but NRG, that's just textbook offense from them. Pressure, 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 and they break you down.
Back-to-back sweeps on the main stage. NRG sweeping the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they kept it close. They looked good. Just a few mistakes on defense. And Hawk, honestly, you know, if you have a stand-in coming in, a lot of times you see them play a little bit too hesitant. But Hawks was the opposite problem, but I think that is a good sign. The Chiefs, I think, you know, they looked like a very solid team here. NRG, you know, one of the best teams in the world. The Chiefs were hanging with them. Yeah, I completely agree, though, about Hawk. Usually they feel a little hesitant, not entirely sure what to do. And Hawk made a decision, and he went for it. And he always, more often than not, came up with a solid touch on the ball, bought his team time, made a pretty decent effort. And the most important thing is that you don't hesitate. You need to give your teammates information about what you're going to do and if it'll work out. And Hawk didn't struggle with that at all. So I think he put up a pretty solid first series. Obviously tough to lose, but you're absolutely right. Hung well with NRG. Yeah, fantastic speed. So Chiefs, they're not out of it just yet. NRG will be moving on to day 2. The Chiefs still have a few series to go. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we have more Rocket League action. Stay tuned.